This is Quizine in Pakistan. Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Quizine TV, where we quiz the cuisine. This is of course episode 2 of our Cuisine in Pakistan series, and this time we'll be continuing our exploration of Pakistan's most populous city and former capital, Karachi. This city has flourished throughout the past few decades and has been a beacon of economic activity and a crucial hub of trade owing to its proximity to the Arabian Sea. In fact, Karachi alone collects 35% of Pakistan's tax revenue, makes up a quarter of its GDP, and the city's ports handle around 95% of Pakistan's foreign trade. Although Karachi is the capital of the Sindh province, the city enjoys strong representation of all the ethnic groups that make up Pakistan and accommodates around 1 million Afghan and 400,000 Rohingya refugees. There is also a large number of Bengalis living in Karachi and indeed around Pakistan. However, the situation with this ethnic group is a little bit more complex, with many having lived here for decades since before the foundation of an independent Bangladesh in 1971. To understand it all, we've got to go back a little. After the Indian subcontinent successfully freed itself from British rule in 1947, it was partitioned into India and Pakistan. What is now Bangladesh, between 1947 and 1971, made up the eastern wing of Pakistan and was known as East Pakistan. By 1971, Bengalis were calling for independence from Pakistan, and after a bloody liberation war, they were successful in turning East Pakistan into the independent state of Bangladesh. Whilst this was great news for Bengalis in Bangladesh, it left many of the millions of Bengalis in Pakistan in a difficult position. Following the split of the two countries, Bengalis in Pakistan, unable or unwilling to return to Bengal, were denied Bangladeshi citizenship whilst also being unable to secure a Pakistani ID card, rendering them stateless. After years of campaigning, the Pakistani government agreed to issue identity cards to Bengalis last year, but activists told Quizine TV that obtaining these are still very difficult and the process has become excessively costly due to corruption. There are an estimated 2 million Bengalis in Pakistan today, the majority of whom reside in Karachi. There are a handful of slums scattered around the city. The Bengali community here is often described as one of the poorest groups in Pakistan, and so finding the means to obtain citizenship or travel to Bangladesh is not an option. We travelled to a Bengali fish market in an area called Miskeenabad, which literally translates to poor place or area, to visit some of our Bengali brethren, many of whom told us they felt trapped. I had the pleasure of meeting 69-year-old Muhammad Hanif, originally from Kumilla in modern-day Bangladesh, who came to Karachi in 1971. He tells me at the time he arrived to Karachi, he was around 18 years old and came with his siblings, and now lives here with his 8 sons and many grandchildren, all of whom were born in Pakistan.
এখানে আসি বাংলাদেশে খানা খাদ্য কামাই রুজি বহুত কম ছিল যা কামাই করতাম পুরা হইতো না সব কিছু পুরা হইতো না এই জন্য আমরা পাকিস্তানে আসি মানুষ বলছে যে পাকিস্তানে পয়সা আছে কাম করলে পয়সা পাওয়া যায় খানা খাদ্য কোনো কিছুর কমি নাই এই জন্য আমরা এসে বসি
কোনো সময় আপনার ভিতরে যে আশা হয় অথবা চিন্তা হয় যে আপনি ফেরত যাবেন
মনে চায় বাংলাদেশ এখন চলে যাই সবার লইয়া মাগার গে যদি যাই ওখানে যাই কি খামু কি করমু সম্পদ নাই জমিন নাই বাড়ি নাই ঘর নাই কিছু নাই টাকা নাই এখান থেকে যাইতে হইলে কমসে কম 8টা ছেলে আছে, নাতি ভতি আছে, স্ত্রী আছে, নিজে আছি। একটা বাড়ির দরকার, একটা কারবার করতে গেলে 8টা ফলারে 8টা কারবার দেওয়ার দরকার, পয়সার দরকার, কমসে কম করোড় টাকার দরকার। যদি 10 লাখ করে একজনকে দেই, ফের 1 করোড় টাকার দরকার আছে, আমার কাছে নাই, এই জন্য যাইতে পারবো না।
আর আপনি আগে আমাকে বলছিলেন যে মানে করাচি পুরো পাকিস্তানে অনেক বাঙালি ওগুলো আছে, যে আপনি মনে করেন ওরা বলে না, ওরা যে
বলে না বাঙালি
কেন
আছে, বলে না, ওই আপনি আপনার পাকিস্তানি বলে আপনার মনে করে যে আমি বহুত উপরে আছি, উপরে আছি। আমার যদি আমার আধা পাকিস্তান লিখে দেয়, আমি কমো না যে আমি এখানে বহু সুখে আছি। আমি যে জায়গায় জন্ম হয়েছি ওই জায়গার জন্য আমার দিল কাঁদতে থাকে, কান্দে।
Exploring Miskeenabad was certainly a profound and touching experience. We learned a great deal about some of the many international Bengali diaspora. But that's enough for politics and history for one day, and it's time to get back onto the food. You can't come to Pakistan and not try some Karahi, and many of the locals insisted to us that the best Karahi was actually in Karachi. So we decided to put that to the test and head to the famous Dua restaurant in Clifton. The Karahi curry is named after the steep-sided wok-like pot in which this dish would traditionally be cooked.
I should probably be a bit more freaked out about the fact that I'm standing next to a deceased carved lamb, but this is the vibe here. This is the vibe because we are here at Dua restaurant to try the most epic of Karahi. Now, Karahi is a very, very traditional subcontinental curry. You'll be familiar with a Karahi in your local Indian curry house, for example, in the UK. It's super, super popular, and the premise is the whole Karahi, the food is cooked within one sort of pan, and that pan is just cooked and cooked and cooked. There's no handles, there's no safe haven. If you touch the dish, you will burn your hand. The concept of that, I guess, is beautiful because it adds this almost charcoaly, char-grilled flavor to the curry that you won't have in any other sort of normal curry. And obviously the workstation is incredible. It does not get any more fresh than this. They literally cut into pieces the meat behind it, and literally they pass it on throughout the kitchen. There's different stations and they make the food accordingly. You literally are given an option, like, do you want your food quickly or do you want it completely fresh? So if you want it as quickly as possible, you can probably get it within 10 to 15 minutes. They got some stuff which is half prepared, chuck it on the fire and it's ready to go. If you want it fully fresh, they literally chop up the bits of meat and then pass the meat on, and they cook it from the very beginning, from the very foundation. So this is super, super awesome, and I'm very, very excited. So you can see they're doing their work here. Now we walk across into this part of the station. Next up, we've got basically what is effectively the first layer of cooking. So look, here it is. You can see here, this is lamb, but you can see they've half cooked it. It's pretty much edible at this stage, but they add the sort of extra final flame process a bit later on. So here you can see there's a pressure cooker going. That's where they tenderize the meat. And here we go, look, fire's on. Let's walk through to the next part of the station. You see here, they've now chopped up the meat. They've now got the pressure cooker going. And look, there's actually not much flavors that they use here. Look, there's a little bit of cumin, a little bit of black pepper, and generally tomatoes. They love a bit of tomato. Come through here, look. This is effectively one of the final stages. This is basically one that's almost ready to go out. You're just giving it the final few twists and turns. That's basically going to be transferred onto one of those racks over there and taken straight out. Amazing, just look at the colour on that. It's so beautiful, so fragrant. You can smell it over here. All you want to do is indulge. It just empties out a bit of the excess water, because remember, the cry is supposed to be somewhat dry, and he keeps adding the final mixes before he's going to get rid of it. So there it is. Look at that. That is a dish to behold. And off it goes, look, straight onto the mat. So that's 1 kg. And off it goes. Off it goes to the various people sitting over there. And that is literally the supply chain from the beginning to the end of how the most elite Karahi in Karachi is made. This is going to be absolutely delicious, and they serve the food here by the weight. It's either half a kilo or a kilo. You can't get any other sort of weight variation. So this is going to be a big meal. It's made for sharing, it's made for fun. Groups of friends have this together. There's going to be about 7 or 8 of us dining. I am super excited. Our food has just arrived, and as you can see, we've got a selection of 4 different curries. This is the white chicken that's made with cream, milk and yogurt. We're going to tack into that one first. So there's spice in there as well, but it's also creamy. So it's not like a korma that you'll be used to having in the UK. It's got a good kick to it. Don't be deceived. I'm going to have some of that green chili as well. It's hot, straight off the fire. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. That is ultra rich. There's so much cream in there. The consistency of the sort of curry is more like a paste, so it's super rich. And I've got to tell you, mate, the spices that are included in that green chili is super strong. So it's got a very nice spice that cuts through everything. Super delicious. I'm gonna try the next one now. This one is called the brown meat. This one's a bit drier. There's not much sauce here. It's almost like closer to a sort of tikka or grilled meat. But the cool thing about this is the skin is quite charred, quite rough. It's almost like a dry aged bit of meat. That's the way they cook it on the Karahi to get that ultra sort of crispy, charcoaly flavor. Oh, that is delicious. It's quite chewy, rubbery, quite dry. But that's a part of the sort of dry aged vibe. You know, the exterior is quite rubbery, almost leathery, I'd say. But still very delicious. A good piece of sort of grilled, what tastes like grilled meat. There's really not much curry on that at all. Very delicious and quite smoky. The taste is very smoky. Now the next one we're going to have is meant to be the most popular dish here. That's what the guys at the back told us. This is the dish that people come near and far to try, and that is the mutton peshawari. And this one is cooked literally with tomatoes, garnished with a little bit of ginger, and there's some cumin and a little bit of pepper. That's all they pretty much use. It's very simple, very straightforward.
Is that the one? That's the one, isn't it?
It's evident now why that's the most popular one. Super succulent, extra soft, melt in your mouth. It's got a wonderful kick to it. And that tomatoey flavour is absolutely genius. That's by far my favourite so far. Very delicious. I'm going to try the Peshawari chicken now. It's chicken on the bone. Chicken breast in curry houses across the UK is so common. Not so common when you come to the subcontinent. Whether it's Bangladesh, India or Pakistan, they love chicken on the bone. And the reason for that is the bone inextricably adds so much more flavour to the dish. Very oily, by the way. Lovely tomatoey taste to it. Same as what I've just tried, but with chicken instead of meat. Super delicious. That chicken is so soft and succulent. The flavors of the peshawari are really good. Traditional sort of tomato based dish, but again with that fiery charcoal flavor. This is a wonderful selection of the best Pakistani curries, the best curries that you'll have in Karachi. Dua restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. This place is a household name in Karachi. There's a couple of branches. Doesn't matter where you go, when you're here in Pakistan, in Karachi, make sure you try this place out. Delicious.
Like, subscribe and share.
All I want to do is just lie down.
That's a serious.
Very nice view. It's got the moon up there.
Serious,
it's actually very nice.
Baby, you know, that's what Karachi food does to you. You eat and then you sleep, that's it.
A great way to round off the meal, isn't it? Do you have to put it in your mouth? Yeah. Is that the rule? It's the rule. Someone else has got to put it in your mouth. You've got to put it in your mouth yourself. That is such an explosion of flavors. So sweet. Sugar overdose.
Yeah, it's too sugary.
Too much sugar. But it does cleanse the palate, doesn't it? Pan Pakistani style. Karachi style.
Very good.
Alright guys, it has been a very long day. We have been running around rabbit around Karachi. We've been to a lot of places up and down from the north to the south, and we're just basically resting near our hotel, and we came out because Shock Mahmood, the cameraman, is tired. Shock. We came out for a little stroll, and actually there's this whole street with quite a few shops that serve fresh fruit juice, and it's literally pressed fruits, and you get this wonderful array of fresh juice.
You're not going to give me credit for the idea.
I mean, you've been getting a bit too much credit recently, mate. Thank you. Look, mango has just arrived. Look, so we've got, between us, we've got a fresh mango juice. We have a fresh pomegranate juice, and we also have a fresh grapefruit juice. Again, these are all literally fresh Pakistani fruits that are pressed, and we see the level of preparation that goes into it. They're peeling the skin off, pressing it, and honestly, this looks very fresh and very delicious. This is the pomegranate juice. Here goes. Oh my god. Not until I drank did I realise how thirsty I actually am. I took one sip and I didn't want to stop. That is absolutely delicious. Only issue is it's a bit lukewarm. It has to be, because we can't have the ice here again, because that water will probably mess us up. So it's just the room temperature of the fruit, but it's so flavoursome, so fresh, absolutely delicious. I guess there's an element of natural coolness that the pomegranate gives off because it's within its shell. So it's very delicious, and there's a little frothy sort of texture at the top as well. Honestly, this is really cool. Big straw in a glass on the street side of Karachi. Can you really go wrong? It's got a nice bit of tang as well. Pomegranate, it's got that sweetness, but it's also got the tanginess to it as well. Okay, grapefruit now. Now, I'm not actually that much of a fan of grapefruit because the bitter taste usually sends me a bit sideways. But look, let's try it. Let's give it a go. Why not? Yeah, I mean, if you like the taste of grapefruit, you will like that. It's very tangy, very bitter. It's more like pomelo. I don't even know if this is actually grapefruit or if this is like Pakistani grapefruit.
You pointed at it, I didn't think it was grapefruit.
I don't think that's grapefruit. I think it might be pomelo.
I'm not sure it is. So
yeah, it's definitely pomelo. But pomelo is a bit less kind of bitter and strong than grapefruit. But it's tasty. Right, mango.
Can't go wrong with it. Sure. Whose idea was it?
You can't go wrong, but the issue is it's just gone wrong because there's ice in that, and there's definitely some water in there as well. So I might be written off in about 24 hours. But it's very good. It's like a mango smoothie.
And that's it for Cuisine in Pakistan episode 2. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next time where the insane food crawl of Karachi continues. Only on this occasion we'll be bringing you a breakfast to die for, marvelling at some colourful Pakistani ice cream and indulging in the best biryani in the world. See you next time.